unless like the government start being responsible, they do debt destruction, and they reinflate the purchasing power. Silver is going up higher.
We're setting a bit of a historic precedent here.
Was it really that event that caused the rally to go up?
The economy is going to start suffering pain.
That's going to be bonkers.
Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of Talking Trades with me, Kevin Wadsworth, and my friend and colleague there, Patrick Karim. Today, we're going to talk about silver, and we're going to talk about the potential for silver to move much higher. So we're talking about beyond 60, 70, 80, 90. We're talking about $100 silver. When and how can we get to $100 silver, Pat? Is it realistic?
Yes, Kevin. Well, of course it's realistic, but again, it's all about time frame, right? What's your time scope? Because we know silver used to be a quarter, an ounce of silver, then it went up to $1, it went up fivefold, then it went up another fivefold to $5 and $25. And even now it's doubled off, the breakouts back in 2020 were off, like we're double 20, like we're at 50, 51, wherever we are today. So of course, silver over long periods of time, that destruction of purchasing power. So $100, unless like the government start being responsible, they do debt destruction, and they reinflate the purchasing power. Silver is going up higher. But what I wanted to show you, guys, because how fast can silver go to $100? And of course, like I'm going to share my charts, so you guys will have some visual backdrops. Okay, guys, so here's a visual support. So I know everybody, it's crazy, Kevin, because we talk about these long-term targets for silver, but then everybody wants to see a short-term chart. So, all right, I'll oblige for this time, guys. I'll show you a short-term chart of silver. So here in the top left, you'll see I have the silver chart daily. So each of these candles is 1 day. And let's have fun, guys. Let's see if silver was to reach $100, what should it respect? So what supporting trend line should it respect? So I drew this one here. I have 1 touch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 touches in this rising support line. So for me, when I start doing projections, I draw support. Okay, and then I tell myself, as long as the price stays above this rising support line, of course, because it's rising, all the upwards target they're on the table, right? I'm above an inclining support line. It's inclining. That means over time, as long as I stay above, I'm guaranteed not to do a lower price point. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is you draw a horizontal line at $100. What is your theory or your thesis? When can silver reach $100? So let's put that target there. I have a horizontal line. And then it gives you a play area. It gives you a triangle somewhere where eventually, depending on how fast silver price moves, how fast can it reach that $100? So those are the first 2 steps to frame the price action in a bullish way, where you know that the bullish scenario goes in the garbage if you lose a rising support line, and the bullish scenario resolves itself once it reaches your $100. And you'll see that's what a triangle does. It's forcing you over time. It's forcing you. There's going to be a decision point everywhere at some time, right? Either we lose that rising support line and we don't reach $100 in this time frame, right, on the daily chart. Because remember, guys, if I zoom back out, all this on the monthly chart or quarterly chart, you might not even see all this price action, right? This is a very tight range. So that is the way how to frame these roadmaps. But now as a chart trader, you have to establish odds of, well, I reach, let's say $100. There was something going around on the internet where by Q2, so the start of Q2, so that means March, January, February, March 1st, or the end of January, February, March, the April 1st, so the end of March, can silver reach $100 by that time? And you'll see here, then after that, your second step is to see, well, okay, fine. How much days do I have left to reach that? And the price is right here. I think it's this chart's a few days old, or by the time you see this, I don't know. But we're still consolidating, where I think there's probably going to be a nice continuation pattern, if we're lucky there, that's going to morph into existence. Whether it follows this roadmap or whether it's coiled and tight and it resolves faster, we'll have to wait and see. those thinking that we reach $100 before the start of Q2 of 2026, then they're probably going to want a faster resolution. They don't want this, they want a faster resolution here, coiled and tight the next month, something really, really tight the next, or maybe the next week or so. And then you break out and it accelerates upwards even higher. And then I would probably have to draw a more acute rising support line to help support. So I'd have a roadmap within this roadmap, which would help support price go all the way up there. Look, the time is not on silver side right now, because when you have targets and you this is an old thing I heard, Kevin, there back in the days there. A good manager, it's kind of a joke at the same time, a good manager will never, or project manager will never give you an objective, a quality of the objective to reach, and a time to reach that objective. He will give you only one or the other. So he has a room out, right? If somebody guarantees, okay, I'm going to deliver $100 silver by this date, you're boxing yourself in. So right now, that is very unlikely. It's much less likely right now at this stage to think that we're going to get $100, a double from here in the next 100 days. Where I think it's more probable, more reasonable, is to get a more prolonged correction here, let the higher time frames reset in a more meaningful manner, and then my strike zone, as long as we stay above this rising support line, then my strike zone would be after Q2. Then after that, we'd have less FOMO, more reset. The profit takers, the one that did this run up, they're going to be out of the trade, etc. And then we could probably hit $100 later on. And yes, and after that, of course, maybe towards the end. But if silver spikes up there, we're going to be, once again, in this area, the price is probably going to be above 60, it's going to be above 68, it's going to be in the $70 region. So it's very reasonable that it just needs like a 33% move to go and spike and touch at $100. And that is how I like to frame things, Kevin. When people ask these clickbaity type of questions, can it do that? And people like, when will I be able to buy my yacht? When will my silver double in price? Well, do it with objective evidence. Do like I did now, and you'll see clearly, okay, this is reasonable. This is less reasonable. So, and make sure you have the parameters where you say, look, that bullish thesis, you throw it out the garbage, and that's that rising support line. That rising support line must hold.
Yeah, it's all about setting reasonable expectations, isn't it? And what's plausible. I think when you're forecasting the future, you're not really trying to predict an outlying event. You can take an outlying event into account by looking at past extreme events, but it's more reasonable to expect the price of silver and the price of gold to follow a more reasonable path. So set your expectations accordingly, and set your downside support line like you did there as well. If you know where your downside support line is, you know when the signal comes, and charts are all about the signal. A lot of the time a chart is just doing its thing and hasn't really given a signal, but if it breaks out through a resistance or it breaks down through a support, then that is a signal that you can act upon. Great stuff as always, Pat. Yeah, we're going to look out for that $100 silver if you like that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more from us. Bye for now.